Do you all have any winemaking questions?
Your Cab Shiraz and your Cab Merlot, what ratio? About 75-25?
That is an excellent question, and the answer is we don't know yet. And that's why we're not tasting limited edition wines tonight. We can't do that because they don't exist. I've tasted all of the prototypes that our winemaker has made. Currently, I'm pretty sure the Shiraz Cab is going to be about 60-40, and the Cab Merlot is closer to 50-50. But, yep. Cab Merlot's going to be about 50-50 because the Cab is so lean and elegant. We want that Merlot to fatten up the back end. And how we do this is we start making these wines way back. As soon as we get the first juice samples in, we'll make up a dozen samples. We'll taste them and pick the best 2. And based on those 2 recipes, we'll make 30. So we'll make 15 of each. We'll taste the best 3 out of each of those 30, and then we'll come back to the tasting panel and do a refinement. And I've got to go back next week to Ontario, to the winemaking department, and do the final tasting on the final formulations. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be 60-40 and 50-50 on those 2 different blends. Yep.
What else are you using in the Cab?
The Cab Merlot will almost certainly have a blend of toasted and French oak, probably about 3 to 4 ounces in total. And like I said, Cabernet and Merlot can both soak up that oak really nice. The Shiraz Cab will probably have at least 2 ounces of toasted oak, might have a little more, might have another ounce of lighter French oak in there. Yep. Any general winemaking questions? Yes, sir?
I really very much appreciate what you've done tonight. It's been fascinating and oriented on the grape. I'm a little perplexed after that because I read your blogs. I taught me something else there. And that is to be open to making wine with other ingredients besides grapes. And so I guess the first question I have is this. Why do we focus on the grapes when, in point of fact, elsewhere you've suggested adding other kind of active ingredients? And then secondly, and this is based upon the experience I had this weekend, for a box of wine I bought from that shelf over there, I'm making the Italian Piedmont Barolo. And I'm just curious to know, what is a G-Pack Eclipse 004461? What does it really contain?
Oh, okay. To your first question, do you mean why don't we make wine kits that are made from other fruits rather than grapes?
I mean to say, let's see, you talked about the grapes tonight. I think it's a sales question. I think it's deep. Why don't we also talk about the other engineering besides the grapes that you employ to package the product yourself?
Okay, couple of reasons why we don't talk about the engineering behind the making of the kits. Number one, you and I are geeks. We like that thing. The rest of these people are probably just thirsty. So I can pin people in their seats for an hour, but not for 2 to listen to me yabber on about how we go through grape selection and brokers and pre-testing grapes when they land in our shipping area. We don't accept delivery of them until they run 3 tests on them plus a gas chromatograph. Blah blah blah. All this stuff. We're essentially a giant winery. We do everything that a winery would do, right up to the point where you'd pitch yeast and turn it into wine. But we package it, and then we deliver it to this store so that they can sell it to you, and you can pitch the yeast and make the wine. So there's a lot of interesting stuff behind that, but it is highly technical, and we wanted to talk tonight just about the grapes and that. Sorry, your second question?
The second question is, as coming out of this...
Oh, the F-Pack. Okay. G-Pack Eclipse 0041 is... when we make grape pack kits, we have some tremendous engineering issues. So when we make red wines, we take the grapes, we crush them. We don't do it personally. We do it right in the vineyard where the grapes are grown, because you don't want to ship grapes, from Italy to Canada to process them. You want to process them right there where they're fresh. So they're taken to a winery in Italy. The grapes are crushed and they're cold soaked with enzymes. When you're making red wine from fresh grapes, if anyone's ever done it, what you do is you crush the grapes, pitch the yeast. Yeast turns the sugars into alcohol. The alcohol extracts the color from the skins and the tannins from the seeds. It goes into the wine, and that's where all the color and tannin and stuff comes from. We can't do that with wine kits because we'd be shipping you alcohol, so that would put it in a different tax category. So what we do instead is we take the grapes, run them through a heat exchanger, get them cold, and hit them with a very highly tailored enzyme. We have our own proprietary enzyme blend. It's proteases, pectinases, pectinoglycolytic enzymes. It essentially dissolves all the cellulose. All the plant material holding that grape skin together is dissolved, and we put the resulting mush into a roto fermenter where it's like a front-loading washing machine, churn it for a couple of days, and by that time the mechanical action and the enzymes have extracted all the color, flavor, aroma, and tannin out, settle that, and that becomes our juice. So that's where we get our stuff from. Now what that means is those grape skins are dead. They are gone. So we need to pick twice as much grape material as we need to then get the skins. This time when we crush them, we press them immediately to drive the juice off and use that for a different purpose. We take those skins and then we batch process them into your grape pack. And so what we'll do is we'll blend them with some concentrate, because concentrate is very high in acid and very high in sugar, so it's like jam. Jam doesn't spoil on the shelf because of the high acidity and high sugar content. We blend that together, put it into a pack, and then we poach it to pasteurizing temperature for about an hour and cool it down in what's called a retort vessel. And then that's that pack of goo that you cut open and dump into your kit so that you get the grape skin benefits. So that's exactly how the pack works. You're welcome.